Okay, so we are live now. You're welcome to the Voyage of Reality with yours truly, Imara Joyce. Thank you for joining. Thank you for coming in. Joyce, thank you for joining. Thank you for coming in. Joyce, thank you for joining. Thank you for coming in. Joyce, thank you for joining. Thank you for coming in. Joyce, thank you for joining. So sorry, my network is kind of very slow because I am away from my usual location. So sorry, my network is kind of very slow because I am away from my usual location. Sorry, my network is kind of very slow because I am away from my usual location. My network is kind of very slow because I am away from my
yeah, just looping.
Because I am away from my
yeah, just looping.
Because I am away from my
yeah, just looping.
Because I am away from my okay, yeah. So sorry about
yeah,
my network connection is very, very erratic today. So probably because I am away from my usual location, like I mentioned earlier. But hey, we will do this, right? So you're welcome to the Voyage of Reality with yours truly, Imara Joyce. And today we have amazing people here who will encourage us, that will stir our hearts unto on the voyage of reality. Yeah, and so the topic of discussion today is what gospel artists need to know. Yeah, and so the topic of discussion today is what
come back on.
artists need to know. Yeah, and so the topic of discussion today
come back on.
artists need to know. Well, the good thing about this is whether I'm live or not, conversation can continue. So I guess we'd feel free to continue the conversation whether I'm on or not. That is, the conversation can continue. So I guess we'd feel free to continue the conversation whether I'm on or not. That is, the conversation can continue. So I guess we'd feel free to continue the conversation whether I'm on or not. That is, okay.
Okay,
Can you hear me, Mr. Allan?
Right, so I can hear you clearly now.
Oh, okay.
Let's wait for Valentine.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so sorry everyone. My network is very, very terrible today, but hopefully we will get it right. Yeah. So you're welcome to the Voyage of Reality with yours truly, Imara Joyce. And wherever you are watching from, like it is our custom here, just comment, say something, feel free to ask questions because it is going to be interactive today. It is going to be interactive. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns regarding the topic of discussion today, feel free to ask. We are here to interact. We are here to, regarding the topic of discussion today, feel free to, okay, so I think it's from, don't worry, I'll mute his side. I'll mute you, Elder, because I think we're getting the feedback from you. We're getting the feedback from DJ Val, and I'll mute it. Yeah.
Okay, so Val is muted.
Yeah. Can you hear me? You can hear me. Oh, okay. All right. So I think we're getting the feedback from your ends. But when I want you to talk, I think I would unmute it so we don't get the feedback. Yeah, so you're welcome to the Voyage of Reality once again. And like I said, the topic of discussion today is, what should gospel artists know? Gospel artists need to know lots of things, because I see lots of us struggle. I see lots of us under stress, under duress to get it right. What are we not doing correctly? What do we need to know? And that is the reason why we are here today. So with me today to discuss this are anointed and seasoned men of God. I call them seasoned men of God.
We lost both Val and Imara.
Yeah, I call them seasoned men of God because they have been in this for long. And today we have Mr. Allan Doyle, and we have DJ Val. We also have Angel of Melody and Bishop Shane. As they come, we will bring them up. Now, usually they are not supposed to like maybe introduce themselves. I am supposed to introduce them, but I want them to do justice to that. So I will allow them introduce themselves and let us know who they are and what they do, what they stand for and what they believe in. So before we go any further, like I said earlier, the topic of discussion today is, what should gospel artists know? Basically, that is it. And if you have any concerns, if you have any questions, feel free to ask, because it is going to be interactive. And so, Mr. Allan Doyle, the floor is yours. Let's get to meet you.
All right. So my name is Allan Doyle. I live in Brooklyn, in New York City, and where I own and operate a recording studio where the majority of my recordings are gospel music. And so, I do work with a lot of the local artists here in Brooklyn. I do all the production myself. I mix and master up to the final product. I've been doing this since 1997, and I've worked with numerous artists, both in the secular and in the gospel realm. I have a full, and I've worked with numerous artists, both in the secular and in the gospel realm. I have a full 32 track capable recording studio
and in the gospel realm.
And
That's
what I do.
Full
32 track
capable
recording studio
and in the gospel realm.
And that's what I do.
Full
32 track capable recording studio. Oh, we're getting the loop back again. Imara, do you hear me? Hi, Angel. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep.
It sounded like a lot of talking going on at first. It was really echoing.
Yeah, when Val comes on, it creates some sort of a loop back.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Imara.
Okay.
So yeah, did you hear what I had to say, Imara?
Oh, okay.
I think we're still having some problems there. Imara, are you there? You can still hear me, right, Angel?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you and see you.
Oh, you're welcome, Angel. Good to
Hey, Imara, there seem to be a lot of issues with your connection
Hello,
on
can
one.
you hear me? I lost connection at this point, yeah.
Yeah, but you're breaking up a lot, and when Val comes on, it creates a lot of noise when we're speaking.
Oh, okay, thank you. Okay. She says they can hear me. All right, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you real good, Imara. I can hear you
Okay,
very
Mr.
well.
Allen, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Angel.
Yes.
Mm.
So I'll do the interview. So Angel, tell us about yourself. Tell us what you do. Um, how long you've been doing it, all the good stuff.
Okay. Well, for starters, my original name is Tonya Johnson. I'm also known as Miss Angel on Deck, and I am an evangelist, a radio host, also the CEO of Angels of Melody International Radio Station, and I've been in ministry and doing radio for 14 years now.
Right.
Yep.
Take it away, Imara.
Wow. Oh, goodness me. I am having issues with my connection here tonight. Oh,
Right.
okay.
It's sounding really clear.
Yeah, you sound clear.
Mm.
So don't move. Uh-oh. Just got
I
disconnected.
know, right? You said don't move, and next thing you know, it went out. Wow, she was sounding really, really good.
Yep, it was clear.
Wow. I'm seeing it like turning over on her side. It's like it's trying to connect back. Okay, so I guess she'll be back on.
Yep. We'll just wait for her.
Wow, this is a great setup. I never heard of this
One,
setup
two.
before.
Yeah, I've never used StreamYard before. Hey, Val, you're back.
Yeah.
Okay, how do I sound?
You sound
Any echo?
here's Imara.
You sound good now. No
We good?
echo.
Right, we're good, Val. Imara, we can't hear.
Yep.
Seems like there's a delay on the line though.
Honestly, I can
Is
barely
it?
hear you all.
Now I
I
can hear
can
you
barely
good.
hear. Yeah. But okay, so the thing is, we're introducing ourselves. Mr. Allen went first, and I guess Angel of Melody was introducing herself at the time I lost touch with you all. But the good thing about this is, whether I'm online or not, you can.
Now I
I
can hear
can
you
barely
good.
hear. Yeah.
Now what just happened? I don't know. Everything is freezing up now.
Yeah,
Did you see that? And then it looked like what I said earlier just repeated itself back, and I wasn't even saying anything.
right. Yep. There's a big delay between the message.
Yeah, because you can hear me say, I hear you real good, but I've been said that.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, I remember I was doing an interview there. They interviewed me there in Nigeria, and we used the actual Facebook Live, and then we did the WhatsApp. I don't know how
Oh,
they
okay.
did that. Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
how we did it.
Hey, Imara. Yeah, our connection is very, very bad.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. It's Can you hear us, Imara?
yes, I can hear you now. Yes, I can now.
Okay, so you can hear. Okay.
Okay. So Val went off, so he should be coming back again.
Yeah, hopefully. Okay, so you're welcome. I'm out of my usual location, and so I'm really having it hard with my connection today, but I know it will get better. So thank you for joining us. Thank you, Angel and Melody. I'm so happy to have you join in. Thank you, Mr. Allen. And
Yes, I'm excited.
same here. So yeah, without wasting much time, because I know you all are very, very busy people, and I know the Americans and the people in the United Kingdom are very time conscious, very, very time conscious. Yeah. So mm,
Can you hear us, Imara?
No, I can't hear anything. Nope, it went right back out.
Yep.
Wow. So maybe I don't know. May like I said, the WhatsApp was good when we had did it before. We did the WhatsApp and the actual Facebook live,
Yeah.
and it went pretty well. Yeah, we had a little hang-ups and stuff every now, but everything had went pretty smooth.
okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, thank you. Okay, so like it is on the flyer, what should gospel artists know? Because I know you get tons and tons of song submissions. Okay,
Hmm.
Elder is back. So Elder is back. Before we go further, introduce yourself. Let the people know you, because you will do due diligence to that. Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
It's repeating back.
Probably
Oh,
echo. Can you hear us now?
I think I'm the problem at the moment. Everything seems to be coming back.
No, no, you are not the problem,
oh,
sir. You're not the problem.
yeah. Because
Something
we hear
somewhere around
you.
there is the problem, not you.
Wait,
Yeah,
We hear you good, Val. When you
he's saying on his end, like we're
Okay,
hearing
so
him good,
before
but
we
but
get
but he's saying on his end is echoing. That's what he's saying. It's
it's
echoing on his
repeating
end.
back. It's coming back.
Yeah.
Val, do you have Facebook or anything else up that's
Sure.
playing on the back?
Let's try.
Yeah, that's how it was when I came on. Like y'all heard me good, but it was like everything everybody was saying, it was tripling right back to me, where I couldn't really
I'm
understand
just going to
what
try
was
some
saying at the.
headphones, see if that helps.
Yeah, I have headphones on too.
Okay, Val. How about now? Val. How about,
okay. All right, can you hear now?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
we hear
Yes, yes, yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
we can.
That's better, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So our elder DJ Val, introduce yourself. I don't want to introduce you. I want you to do due diligence to introducing yourself to us and the audience. So the floor is yours.
Okay. I'll do my best, but I'm hearing like a long loop coming back. All right. So my name is DJ Val, well, actually Elder Val, aka DJ Val. I'm a gospel DJ, gospel presenter, church elder. I've been broadcasting for about 7 or so years. I serve under Bishop John Anthony Francis at Ruach City Church. And yeah, I'm a lover of great gospel music as well. So I was, pre-Christ, I was very much involved in the music industry, used to DJ, love music. And I've kind of carried that love for great music, into the kingdom of God. So super excited to be here. And hopefully you guys will be able to glean something from the limited knowledge I have, right?
Right.
7 years, that's a long time. Imara, can you hear us? Imara? Looks like she's...
Yeah.
I think it's interesting because it sounds okay now for me, but I was getting like a long loop back. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it was for me.
It's like a 10-second delay. It's like a 10-second delay, and then everything comes back.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, okay. Well, how is it now?
It's good here.
Yeah, it's good here.
We just have to work through it, I think. So yeah, I'll try and do some. Let's try and do some stuff.
All right, so we should continue.
I guess we should, huh?
I think we just lost Imara again.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay. So before we get
Oh, okay, Mara's gone again.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I'm not getting the delay as well. I am. It's like a 10-second delay, and then it comes back.
Oh wow.
Hey, Imara. You're back.
Okay. All right. So before we come back to DJ Val, like I said earlier, let's just delve into the topic of discussion. So you get tons and tons of song submissions every day, if not every minute, every second, right? What informs your choice of songs for rotation? Because lots of artists would complain, oh, I submitted my song to this blogger, to this radio station, and it wasn't recognized. So what informs your decision for choosing a song or picking a song for rotation? So let me start with ladies first.
Well, how I pick songs is, well, I listen to the whole song from the beginning to the end, and then as I'm doing that, I'm imagining, like, is this a good song to just put out there? You have your heavy rotation and you have your standard. So there's some music that I've heard where I say, okay, this is real good, and I put it just on regular standard. But then you have some music that you hear, and I mean, it catches you, on point where you like, wow, yeah, I'm really feeling this. Or if it's worship, you can feel the power of God in that worship, and then you think, okay, I'm going to put it on standard, but maybe I need to put this on heavy rotation. And what I do is I watch the charts throughout the week, and I'll see which songs are being rotated the most, and that's how I go about each song. It's easier that way for me, because if you try to pick everything at one time to download, sometimes you might forget, what songs you got in the queue or whatever. So most of the time, what helps for me is I got a notebook strictly for music, and I'll write down the artist's name and the name of the song. and I go from there. So that's how I pick um, with all this music that's coming in, and you still have songs that you haven't even gotten to yet because it's just so many coming in.
Oh, wow. DJ Val, I see you nodding your head, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so while I'm sure you have something to say, so while you say that, you would introduce yourself alongside.
Okay. I really forgot my manners. I want to say hi to my brother Alan out there. First time meeting him online, and of course Angel, man. We partnered together, so it almost feels. And I
Yeah.
have to apologize, right? I worked out what the problem was. I had another window open here that was causing that cascade, so it had nothing really to do with it
Oh.
before. So it's the beauty of doing things live. I like to say. So as I say, Elder Val, DJ Val, I'm an elder at Rex City Church, broadcaster. Been broadcasting for about 7 years, playing gospel music on Rec Radio and so many other platforms and other stations as well. And as I said, I've had an interest for many, many years, even pre-Christ in music. So music has always been my thing. And it's interesting that Angel kind of like touched on the fact that there is just so much music out there at the moment that the choice is, and it can become a little bit overwhelming, I find sometimes.
Yeah.
And there's some good music, right, that doesn't get played enough because there's something else that comes behind it,
Yeah.
as well. So I think for me, and it might sound really strange, but one of the things I say is my biggest rule is it something that I would listen to personally? And if it's something that I would listen to personally and enjoy, that's kind of like the criteria that I use to play on any kind of like show. And gospel music has evolved. It's not just hallelujah, praise the Lord, choirs and that kind of stuff, call and answer. There's so many different genres of music out there. So I think for me, one has to be very, very careful. I like the idea of having a book. I'm going to do that as well. Write down the songs because I don't listen to stuff, but I like the idea of writing them down so you can go back and check them out later on. But
Yes.
I tell you one thing I do as well. I try not to check for new music regularly. Unless something is sent to me, I don't necessarily go looking for it, and that helps me keep things kind of like tight and together. But it's we're in a great situation. I think that everybody would agree that now we have so much music that we can choose from. But again, as I said, it brings up its own challenges. Yeah.
That's true.
True.
Oh, okay. She's gone. Okay, she's dropped off. So, Alan, I guess over to you.
I know, right?
I am somewhat different than both of you because you guys actually broadcast on radio.
Yeah.
I do my thing on Facebook Live, and and so I do get a lot of music sent to me, and I guess because I am seeing my audience reaction right on the blog, I am seeing it, so that drives me to keep going down that lane. And when I think I seen the reaction starts dying down, it's time to change the mood, right? I will. And like Val, I started DJing in Brooklyn in clubs and basements in 1981, and I did that in 1996, right? And so that's how I sort of choose the songs. I'll be honest, there's some songs that I have that just doesn't fit the majority of the followers or the listeners, right? And so I tend to majority rules, right? So I tend to stay with the majority. If I like one example, I came live, I believe it was Friday night, and I had no idea what I was going to do. But then I started playing some worship songs, and the response was overwhelming. And I actually asked the audience, I said, I just feel like staying on this road on up to 10 o'clock. And everybody was like, yes, please stay on. Right. So that's how I choose like when I'm live on Facebook. That's how I kind of pick my and sometimes somebody may request something. I may be going down the Amazing Grace lane, and somebody will say, oh, I want to hear He's Royal, right? And I have to make a decision there. I'm not gonna do this, right? I'm gonna stay with what the majority is reacting to. That's how I do it.
Wow. Okay, so that means your choice of songs to play are dependent on the mood.
Yes, and the audience.
Yeah, I because I do Facebook and I do YouTube as well, live when I do the radio shows too, and that can influence to a certain degree. But I'll be really honest with you, I kind of like have the show curated almost, so by the time it's ready to come out, I don't make too many changes on the fly, because I think for me, I've already prepared a kind of mood that I want to create. So if I start putting tracks together, for me, in my brain, I see a sequence of songs that would go, and then you can change it and go somewhere else. So yeah.
You know what? I remember back in the day, when it would be parties. Like I would have parties at my house, and I would play a lot of music, and people would say, "Wow, you just know what to pick." And a lot of people always tell me like I have an ear for music.
Yeah.
And I notice when I do my shows, how I like to do them. I put like some music as the intro to just get people prepared. I like to have the type of sound that I have you prepared as you're coming on, where you're listening and saying, okay, wow, I'm feeling this. And then we can go into, the talking and the laughing and everything. But I like to put songs where it's catching you right then and there, where the crowd, the people is like rocking. And at this point, they're like, oh, wow, that's the jam, or she's really playing it. But then you have a time where you kind of want to slow it down. You always want to kind of slow it down a little bit, because if you got it too fast, it might be someone listening in that may say, wow, I'm enjoying all of this fast stuff, but right now I need a little slowness. I need a little worship. So I know how to come in at times with the worship and then pick it right back up. So yeah, it's good to have that ear to hear, like, if I'm not DJing or if I'm not on the radio and I'm listening to a station, how would I want it to be rotated? Yeah. So sometimes I do it like that. Yeah.
From a recording standpoint, so on the initial stages of creating that song, right? Someone would come in and they would say, everybody has a bad song, right? Everybody. One, everybody has. But from the initial stages of creating a song, I always tell an artist, who is your audience?
Yeah.
Because you should have an audience, right? So, I tell all my artists, when on your spare time, when you have nothing to do, you should go visit retirement homes, sing to people, right? Where you have a wider age range. You have grandparents who are in the retirement home. You have their sons and daughters who are coming in with their grandchildren, right? Do that. Get out there and put yourself in that environment. You kind of get a feel of who your music is going to be geared towards, right? So I always tell people, artists, when they come in, know your audience, and when you decide on your audience in your head. For instance, if I am an artist and I am going to sing a song, I'm going to have a focus. I'm going to say, okay, this song is going to be for this age group, the majority, right? It would work for the younger group as well, right? But the majority is going to listen. I'm not going to make a song that has 160 BPM for an age group 60 and above. Right? I'm not gonna. So I tell them from the initial standpoint of the song, I tell them, know your audience. Make sure that you focus on that, and then as a creative producer, right? Your job is to now understand the focus of the artist. You're not gonna move them, but you're gonna widen the range, right? So, listen, an 80-year-old may not want to hear a lot of trumpet in their ears. They don't want to hear horns, bah, 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 right? If you want to hear an organ peaceful playing with some nice piano lines, right? But then, as a producer, you start keeping them in that lane, but widening the lane. So what do? You start bringing in some pretty violins, was you look at people like what's his name, the European guy with the long hair. I can't remember his name, but you look at his audience. You look at the Celtic women. The Celtic women. You look at their audience. Their audience is wide ranging. So when I do recording from a creating the song standpoint, those are the things I look for to make sure that when you guys get the song, right? When the DJs get those songs, right? There is something in that song that's gonna make you say, "Oh wow, my mom would like to hear this," or I heard my daughter listening to something a couple of days ago and it sounded something like that, because there's something that's sneaking in there to get that audience. So and like Val, from being a DJ, you kind of like pick up all these things from being there, watching people dancing, see when they start jumping up. So that's it from like a creative where you start building that song. Yep.
Miss Imara's back.
Hey, Mara.
Maybe not.
No,
she frozen.
Yeah.
So I know the topic is about 3 things that you should tell your artists, right? And you want me to go first? I'll go first on the topic.
Yeah. You go first.
Yeah,
I didn't realize.
Okay. So first of all, when an artist comes in, if someone comes in and tell me that their song is going to be number 1, I lose interest just like that. I just lose interest. Because I had a young man come into the studio about 10 years ago, and he says, by the way, my nickname is Tom. So he says, Tom, I got a song, man, that when I release this song, Sanchez and Barris and Frank and all of them, they're gonna have to take a back seat. That is what he said. This was this guy's first song. And I looked at him and I said, something? You already failed and you haven't even started yet.
Yeah.
And today I don't even see this guy anymore, right? Because he just that was his his whole demeanor. And some advice I give a lot of new artists, right? Let's be honest, right? People, the majority of singers today are doing cover songs. The majority. They're not writing a song, right? And I am pretty hard on this one. I don't like when somebody said to me, I am not a writer. Don't tell me that you're not a writer, because you just haven't tried, right? Especially coming from the Caribbean. When we went to school in the Caribbean, you were taught what we call a Nancy story, right? And you were taught to write your own Nancy story, right? So that's in the kid realm, right? Now you're an adult, you're a Christian, you have a Bible. You read that Bible, and the entire Bible is a story. it's just not a Nancy story. It's a story.
Yeah.
And Christians will say, if you went to one Christian and you say, I'm trying to make a decision whether or not I should buy this house or make an investment, the first thing we'll say, well, did you pray on it? Right? That's the first thing they'll say. Well, did you pray on it? Well, if you want to be an artist and you want to be a true gospel artist, take that same advice, right? Pray on it. Become a writer. If you have interest in singing a song, pray on it. Become a writer, right?
Yeah.
We all believe that God answers prayers. You believe it. Pray on it, right?
That's right.
And write a song. Take ownership of something.
Yeah.
Right. We like to buy homes. We like to check on the equities in the home. We want to keep our cars running good, right? Because it's ours. We own it, right? Look at it as you're creating a song. You're sitting, you're putting pen to paper. You're gonna own that song, right? So I always tell artists, write a song, own that song, and you're gonna gain from that song. Because a lot of people, a lot of artists, you'll talk to them and they'll say, oh, you hear this silly song that these people keep playing? It doesn't even make sense, right? Guess what? They wrote it. They went to a producer who was of the same mindset that they are, that created this song, and now voila, the song is a hit.
Yeah.
Right? And you're sitting there wondering, well, I just sing over Amazing Grace in Calypso. Oh, I sing it in reggae. How come nobody's listening to it? Because we're tired hearing Amazing Grace.
I know that's right.
Give us something. Give us something. People say, oh, you gotta learn, you gotta get these people to learn new stuff. And no, just if you people like to read their Bible, if you give them Bible, if you give them biblical scriptures in a song, they are going to like it.
Yes.
I'm not saying sing John 3:16 in every song, but people are going to like it if they read their Bible. So that's my advice that I give a lot of people from the beginning when they start. I'll get into more later. Go ahead. Imara, can you hear us?
It's like she comes back and then she just freezes in a perfect.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I hear her say something for a minute and then it goes right back out.
Okay, Miss Angel, come in.
Well, the thing that I would say that I let artists know that really gives me a banging headache is when they sing you a song or tell you I would like you to listen to a song, and when you don't listen to it, they bug you about it, and they keep bugging and bugging and bugging, and then I've had some call it attitude. What I let them know is this: I tell them, no, we don't do that. What I like to let an artist know, when you present your song to a DJ to play on a show or whatever, my thing is you give that person time. You don't know what their schedule is. You're not the only one that is submitting music. So if I tell you I would check it out and I will get back with you, that don't mean I'm going to get back with you tomorrow or next week. I just said, let me listen to it. And when I hear it, I'll get back with you. What you don't do is you never bug someone to play your song. Submit it. If they tell you they're going to get back with you, have patience. Because at the end of the day, no one has to play your music at all. You know what I'm saying? No one has to do it. It's not like it's mandatory. Oh, I got to listen to this song right away, or I got to do this. It's a blessing for someone to even take the time out to listen to it and to even come back and answer and say, okay, I'm going to be playing your song. I love your music, but anytime that you get an attitude, like I sent your song and I feel that you ignore me. I had an artist tell me that, like he was checking out on me. And I had to, so to speak, rebuke him for that. I was like, look, we're not going to go there. I received your song and I told you I was going to listen to it when I get a chance. I will listen to it when I get a chance. That's something I do. If I say I'm going to do it, everybody that know me knows when I say I'm going to do it, I will do it. But at my time, it's not about your time. It's my time. And if I like it and I feel I'm going to play it, then I get back with you. If I'm not interested, I will tell you that, which never happened because I've always been interested in a lot of the music that's being submitted to me. But what I would like to let an artist know, I know you're excited about your music. You want people to hear it, but just have patience. That's my advice. Have patience and just wait. But don't keep bugging the person to play your music or catch your attitude. Because when that brother did what he did, guess what? He bugged me again. I left him a message. I said, you know what? I'm not interested. I'm not going to go there. Have a good one. God bless you. And that's what I did. And I just went on and deleted it and went on by my business. So that's something I want to put out there, that a lot of artists do that come to me. They feel like you got to stop what you're doing, in the middle of what you're doing, and listen to their music. And if you're not listening to it, they catch your attitude. So that, to me, I think some people need to work on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that. I think that's just, it's just not, I think we're in an industry where we have to be, as believers, professionally courteous to one another, and if you as a, even me as a, as a gospel DJ and a presenter, I have to show a degree of courtesy to the people that I interact with, and understand that, people have busy days. We don't know, these are difficult times, we could be rushing between visits and all kinds of stuff can be going on. We've got our own personal challenges. And I think, if there is anybody out there that is thinking of releasing something, just to kind of like echo what Angel said, just have a little bit of patience. It's good that you're persistent, and I think it's good that you're keen, but just be a little bit, I do this thing sometimes because, if you're following up on something, just a gentle reminder, when you have a chance, it just sounds better than, hey, what's happening? You're not playing my music. Yeah. But it's a little bit hard, and I think it kind of like, again, says a bit what, I'm going to call you Tom now, since you said your nickname is Tom. I think, it's almost what you were saying about having that humility. The guy turns up in your studio, I'm going to be number one. Watch this space.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody who comes out and who, number one, being top at your game is, you have to look back and see that you had a consistent period of being really good.
Right.
Because you have one hit wonders, right? A track comes out, everybody's singing it, and then there's nothing in the arsenal for you to come out with anything else. So I think humility is is key again, and we say these things as believers, like, but it's not always apparent. Sometimes some people really do feel that they've written their own press and they believe their own press. So I would say humility is really key. I think for me, one of the key things I would tell any person that is embarking on producing music and coming out with any kind of material whatsoever is really make sure that you learn your craft and understand everything that there is about the industry that you're in. Because if you want to be consistent, you need to really understand what this is all about. And I think sometimes people come in with they're a little bit naive. They just they've got a track and they think that track is going to be the one that's going to net them millions. Anybody that knows anything about, number one, the music industry, you ain't making millions, number one, like that. And number two, gospel industry, you definitely ain't making millions like that, right? you have to work. You got to really work. So I think just really understanding your craft, knowing about how, I think I've had this conversation before with somebody. It sounds a little bit like a deja vu thing, but I say you can have a gift as a singer, or even let's take us as panelists, right? We're panelists on Imara's broadcast. but all of us have had to learn more than just music. We've had to learn how to do video. We've had to learn how to use social media, how to, and that's not us. That is just helping us to showcase our gift. And I think when someone just comes and pushes something on your desk, and there's no credible marketing scheme around it. You haven't thought about which channels you're going to go on, what kind of social media storm you're going to create. And you don't need to be an expert about that. You just need to be intentional and be deliberate and say, right, I'm going to do everything within what I can to be able to do that. And sometimes the answer isn't just in yourself. You have to ask people. You have to really just go out and ask people. So, what would you, or you watch somebody, there was an artist over here that I kind of like watch what she does. And I'm not saying that she's the best in the whole world, but she has, when she releases her music, it's very, very deliberate. There is a Twitter campaign. There's an Instagram campaign that goes on. There's some video. Then she do some other Twitter interactions that have got not necessarily anything to do with the song, but, but you can see that there's something that is intentional about what's being produced. It's not just I'll put a video up on YouTube and hope that every DJ in the whole world is going to play it, and then I'm going to get famous from that. And I think God really wants us to learn these things, to really make sure that we can be deliver that gift and be that good steward of over what he has.
That's right. I agree.
Yep. I think just to continue down that road about the actual creation of the song, right? So other things I tell my artists is it's not because I have a recording studio I should be recording you, right?
Rewind.
I know, right? Say that again, please.
It's not because I have a recording studio I should be recording you. And the reason I say that is every producer has a signature. There is something about that producer, right? If you heard a song that I produce on a Facebook blog, you would say, that sounds like something Tom did, right? There's a producer from St. Vincent named Frankie McIntosh. When you hear this guy production, you know it's Frankie, right? He's just out there, right? So for that reason, I tell a lot of my artists, if you come to me with 10 songs, I'm gonna say to you, maybe you should take 5 and split it up between some other producers, just to get that different flavor, right? And I have a lot of producers that push back on me and say, hey, why you throwing away business, right? It's not a matter of throwing away business, is looking at what the artist, what would help the artist. What is the money that's going to help me is going to be temporary, right? But if you as a producer come up with produce a song for someone, that money doesn't have to be temporary. The effects of that song on people doesn't have to be temporary.
Amen.
Like, all these secular songs, right? One of them, Feeling Hot, 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 right? You go to a party, you go anywhere, and that song is big every time you hear it play, right? So the same thing goes for gospel music. When you write your song, you write a song with longevity, a song that's going to last. Like I tell a lot of Calypsonians from St. Vincent, every song you write doesn't have to talk about Backstreet, Victoria Park. Write a song for the masses, right? Write a song for the masses. And, like Val just said, look at this other person, right? Listen, someone once said to me, if you want to be a millionaire, you have to look at what other people that's millionaire, look at what they did to become a millionaire, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to go down the wrong road if they did, anything outlandish, but you want to look and just see learn the process, right? You don't have to do exactly what they did, but just learn that process. Another thing I like My studio, I do not allow smoking. I do not allow profanity, drinking. I do not allow none of that, right? So I
Yeah.
tell this all the time. You have to find an environment that when you get to that environment, all you want to do is sing,
Oh,
right?
wow.
That's it. You get into the. I have a guy that I work with he comes into the door dancing, and there's nothing playing, but
Wow.
he comes in. He's already bopping, right? He he comes in ready. There are come into a studio ready to sing. If I stand you up in front of me and say sing your song, you should be able to stare at me and sing the song. That's what you're here
Yeah.
to do, right? Come in, sing the song. And always, I tell artists, always find a producer that is here with you, that is focused, understand your mission, right? And not just say, okay, sit, sing the song, okay, and I'm starting to play, and I make a drum pattern, and I add this, and the song is done, right? All the artists I work with, the first thing I ask them, do you have any videos of you performing with with an audience? I want to see what you're doing. I want to hear the song you're singing, and I want to see what the audience is doing, right? And that's how I
Mm-hmm.
come up with like people say to me, yo, your songs just like catch everybody. Why is that? Because I go with my iPad, I record them, and I tell like artists, I say, listen, you're gonna see me, going up from your head to your feet, recording you, right? Don't ask me why, okay? But you will learn why at some point. And they said
Mm-hmm.
this is crazy that you I want to know what makes you the artist, what makes you smile, what makes
Mm-hmm.
you want to tap the mic with your finger? What makes you want to just get up on a chair and dance? Right? That's what I want. I
Mm-hmm.
want to know all this stuff. What makes you do certain things? And then I can build around you. Right? So that's why I always tell them consider working with an engineer that has your interests. What
Mm.
I'm not, I'm not saying that you're gonna be my only artist. You're the only one I'm gonna be interested in. But I'm gonna understand what your interest is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have brainstorming sessions with your colleagues. Don't just think that it's me and you. It doesn't have to be just me and you. People say, oh, I don't want anybody to hear my songs because they may steal it. Copyright your song. At some point you have to trust somebody. You're right. You're a Christian. You surround yourself with Christians. You should be able to trust those Christians within your circle. Bring them in.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a brainstorm. Let's see what they think about your songs. Let's see if they have any constructive criticism, and we listen and we make changes if we have to. I had a brainstorming session with a young lady that I wrote an album for, and this lady, I think she was like in her 70s, and when she left, she sent the artist a text, and she said,
Mm-hmm.
these songs are gonna bring healing to people. And when the artist called me and read that text, I said, send me the text. And I wrote the last song on her album using that text. And it's like one of the
Mm.
best songs on her album, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
as far as advice to clients, be prepared to artists, be prepared when you're going to the studio. Have a project plan, have a goal. What are we gonna do today? We're going to start at 3 o'clock. We're going to start at 3 o'clock. Try to be
Mm-hmm.
on time.
Time.
We are
Yeah.
all human. We are all
Mhm.
human. If you prick me with a needle, the first thing I'm going to think about doing is reacting,
Yep.
right? If you tell me you're coming to the studio at 3 o'clock, and at 3 o'clock, you're calling me to tell me you're leaving home, by the time you get here, I'm frustrated, right? Think about that
Mm-hmm.
guy that's sitting waiting for you for a certain time, right? Don't you have to make sure that that producer is as calm, as relaxed as you want them to be. And if you frustrate them by always being late, calling at the time you're supposed to be here to say I'm not coming, right?
Mm.
These are things that artists should always like be aware of. And again, I can't stress this enough. Write a song,
Yeah.
copyright the song, own it. It is your
Mm-hmm.
song, right? You never
That's
know
true.
what can happen based on how you write that song, based on how the song was arranged. Get it?
Mm-hmm.
Those are like those are like Studio 101, right? And just own it. That's what I always say. Just own it. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I just wonder, a
Wow.
quick question, just on what you just said. Just in terms of money wise, how much does it cost to copyright a song?
Right. I think it's like $35 to copyright a song.
You see, that ain't nothing really.
No, it's not. It's
No,
not.
that's not. Mm-mm. Nope, not at all.
And even if they have what they call the poor man copyright, right? So you take that recording, you put it in an envelope, you seal it, and you register mail it to yourself.
Yeah.
Date that envelope. You put all the information in the envelope, and you never open that envelope. That envelope should only be opened by a judge. It should not be opened by anybody else.
Wow.
And that's called poor man copyright. So do that. And well, so speaking of copyrights, right? Among our own people, I think we need to have more respect for each other material, right? So if Val comes out with a song and it's a reggae song, and because Val is in the UK somewhere, I'm in Brooklyn, ain't nothing he could do to me. I'm gonna take that song and I'm gonna sing it slow. Things like
Wow. Wow.
yeah, so things like that we need to just like get past that, respect you hear all this government about China and them taking our intellectual property. We're doing it. We are doing it to our people that's standing right in front of us.
Yeah.
If Val has a song and I like the song, pick up the phone, call Val. Don't just go to a studio and take if it's a four on the floor, take it and make it a dance hall, or take it and make it a ballad. No.
Yeah.
Somebody owns that song.
Yeah.
Right? And it's that should be, I think it adds value to our product because it's our product, right? We are the group that's trying to get this out there. We are the group that's trying to do that. So I think it adds value. If you went into a dollar store and you see the same thing, the same Colgate toothpaste that you saw in Walgreens for $5, you see it there for $1, and you keep going there and buying it, and then Walgreens goes out of business, but you used to rely on them to get your medication. What are you gonna do, right? So it devalues Walgreens, but you end up losing so much more, so much meaningful stuff like your medication. You lose that. So like that. So among ourselves, among our what I call our clique, respect each other material, each other's intellectual property.
Amen.
Don't feel because we all come from neighboring islands, we can just take everybody's stuff, and just go out and do what you want with it. And then when the owner turns around and do what they have to do to handle that professionally, there are groups that will say, well, who does Tom think he is? Michael Jackson? Why is he taking Val to court? Because Val used his song. He should be glad that Val used his song. No, it's devaluing my song. It's just stuff that we, not only the artists, but we, the audience, need to definitely keep in the back of our mind that we're devaluing our own people's property.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh.
Imara's gone again.
I think Imara's going again.
Yeah, she's gone again. She's been disappearing all through.
Okay. Over to you, Miss Angel, on the decks. What say you?
Okay.
There were some questions that came up. I don't know if you want to answer those or you.
Yeah, it says, will you advise an artist to maintain? Okay. On that question, will I advise any artist to maintain a particular producer, or will I suggest they sample as many? Well, on that, I would say the type of music you're dealing with, I feel like you should find a producer that can produce. If you're a type of person that does hard rock gospel, I'm just going to use that for an example. You should find someone that's a producer that's interested in that. Because every producer don't work with different types of music. You might have some that deal with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Then you may have some producers that say, I only deal with the jazz part only, or I only deal with the hip hop only. So I would say to just be careful and make sure the producer, maybe let them hear a sample. You don't have to let them hear everything, but let them start off with a sample. Uh, get their opinion about what they think about that sample. Is that something that they're willing to produce? You know what I'm saying? Because again, you have different producers out there that don't produce everything. You may have some that say, I do it all. Bring it to me. I do whatever you need. And then there's some that says, I don't work in this department. I don't produce this type of music. So I would not say just go sample everybody, because you don't want to do that, because then you'll become mixed up yourself, and then your material is out here everywhere, and that's not good. That's my opinion. That's not good. So I would just say pray about it at first. Ask God to lead you, and then get some kind of discernment too. On, is this a good producer for me? Sit down and find out what he's looking for, what type of producer he is, because every producer is not. I'm not gonna say everybody, because there's a lot of good producers, but then you have some producers that just all about the money, and they're not about. They could care less about your quality or what you do. Your stuff can go out here sounding like garbage. All they care for, they just want the money, and they'll put something together and tell you it's cool, but it's really not. So I would just say be careful and just make sure that the producer you feel led to go to, you need to sit down and have a meeting first about what do he
Yeah.
expect. You know what I'm saying? And you let him know what you're looking for, and then just go from there. Hold off on dealing with a whole lot of people right at once.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true, man. Very, very, very true.
Yeah.
If you
Get to that. Yeah.
yeah, if you take a hip hop song
Hmm.
to a reggae producer, in the end, you'll hear the reggae. Trust me. So like you're absolutely right. I tell people, don't go to a guy that is just putting out hit calypso songs every year. Don't go to a guy and tell him to make you a hip hop song, to do a hip hop.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Because sooner or later you're gonna hear that soca, you're gonna hear that calypso in that
Yes.
hip hop song. And it may not be something that the artist had in mind to begin with.
Mm.
But because you've went that far already, they may say, all right, forget it, man. Let's just go with it. And then the artists end up not feeling that song. They can't give their best performance. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
I was just going to say as well, while you were talking, it kind of came to me. I think sometimes as well, if you are out there and you're thinking of bringing your music to market, sometimes there's this thing, and it happens in the world, right? Patronage. So if you put that, so and so and so and so produced the track, automatically. I hear a lot of people saying when their music comes, so and so produced the track, he's on the track, he did this, he did that, almost as if you can buy the quality of your music based on the fact that you got a particular named producer to help you do stuff. And one thing is, I know that budgets vary and situations are there, but I think everybody has said there, you need to prayerfully consider these things. If you're
Mm-hmm.
doing God's work, you need to prayerfully consider. And don't get me wrong, a lot of the times I think even in this industry, people think, they look and say, oh, are you really saved? Are you a Christian? Are you this because you're in music and you're in stuff like that? But, I'm sure I can speak for the other panelists as well. We live a spirit-filled life. And we make decisions based on what God says. Are we perfect all the time? No, we're not. But, before we would even dream of launching out our net to do something, these things are prayerfully considered. And, we're not just saying, well, we're just going to do it for this sake, or let's put a name next to it. So, it kind of like gives us a little bit of, a short-term fame. But these things need to be prayerfully considered, and part of that due diligence and prayerfully considering is that you look back at the body of work that this person has done. Does any of the work that he's done, reflect, or is there anything that you want to glean from it, or are you looking at the success? How many 1,000 copies were downloaded by this person or that person, and that's influencing whether or not you go? Because just as much as you have the multi-platinum winning producers, you have some guys that will take a track and they get your vision and they will make it into something that can absolutely explode. And I'm just saying, don't be too keen to rush out and, you put all your money down for, one track. Whereas, there might be a guy who's maybe not as well known, but he's going to be able to work with you. It's like, like a coach that can work with you to bring out the best from each track. And, rather than it being like, let's put some names next to it so that we get a lot of traction that way around. So, I would say, especially in this industry, y'all need to prayerfully consider where you go and what you do. And, praise God, if you got the funds, right? If you got the cash and, you want to splash the cash and it ain't no issue to you, then, hey, you could go get anybody to produce your track, but I think God really wants us to produce great music. And wouldn't it be a shame that God gives you the song and then what comes out is nothing like what God asked you to do with it?
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah.
You're going to feel away, and that's not it, but you've already committed to the project, and it's going to be one of the ones that you can't even sing it yourself with the confidence that you want to sing it, because it's just not really, it just didn't really think what you wanted. So yeah, just really think, guys, if you're out there, I've never needed to bring a song to a producer before, but you hear stories of people doing things as well. And shout out to the producers that turn around and tell somebody, I don't think I can do this project for you, and don't take their money. Shout out to you guys.
That's right.
I think that's right. Yeah, that is awesome for you not to put your financial interest above above what God is saying. So yeah, cool.
And in terms of, in terms of, I've had some artists that came in, and at some point, just basic human being, just the human being in you, right? As a producer. If you walked into my studio and I kind of sensed that, oh, he could afford my $80 an hour, I'm going to charge him $80 an hour, right? Based on, don't let me see you pull up outside with a Tesla. Right? I'll know that
you're speaking prophetically, my brother. I'm receiving that,
So, I have, I'll be honest with you, the majority of artists that comes in here, they cannot afford a studio. The majority, they cannot afford a studio. But, at some point, just that humanness in you has to kick in and say, this person look like someone who's on the right path, who has, goals that they're really trying to meet. And at some point, us as producers have to be able to adjust to that. Especially, some producers would kill me for this, but especially if this is not your 9 to 5, right? This is
Yeah.
just something you do because you love doing it,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
If that's the case, there's no need to, I don't believe, because if you're not here recording on all this equipment that I have, what is it going to be doing? Who's going to be playing those drums? No one, right? So that's the way I look at things. So, like people come in and I do adjust as a producer, I do adjust to their pocketbook, right? I tell a lot of artists, listen,
Mhm.
you don't worry about paying me now. After you release your album, have your concert, sell some CDs, and then you could start paying,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Because it's
Yeah. That's
pointless by trying to rip them off. It's pointless by not doing the work for them, right? Because let's be honest, every block in New York City now have a recording studio. This is not the days you have to go to the Hit Factory in Manhattan. Everybody has a computer and a keyboard,
That's right. Yep.
and they can do wonders, right? You look at 50 Cents, right? The It's Your Birthday song. I believe it was a 15-year-old who made that song in his bed, that beat in his bedroom with Fruity Loops, a free piece of software.
wow.
I hope the kid got
Wow.
paid.
He got paid. He got paid. But they had to go to court to really get paid. Not the $15,000. I understand they try to stick the guy and say, here, man, hold that. And then the song went multi-platinum, right? And I saw Imara posted a last question there. What's your view on the artist and middleman? So, okay, so I'll take that first. So, if the middleman is considered your manager, there are people who would, and I'll talk about a manager's role, and I'll call somebody out when I do this. Hope she doesn't mind. There are people who would just meet you, and because you're a DJ, right? They would say, "Hey, how would you like to manage me?"
Yeah.
And some folks would say, "Sure, but what's your role as a manager?" Right? So that manager comes into the studio with the artist and tries to tell the artist what to do. They have no clue what the artist's focus is, what their end result, what the end result that they're looking for. But they come into a studio and they start telling you, "Oh no, don't do it that way." Why not? "Oh, because I heard Jay-Z did something and you should do it like Jay-Z," right? It's just pointless. So to bring in a middleman with you that have no idea about singing, no idea. They don't know what a melody is. They think a melody and a medley is the same thing. It's just insane. So so I tell them, I said, a manager. There's a young lady that comes on my blog that manages some artists, and this young lady work her behind off. You hear me? Trying to promote, get these guys' music all over on all the platforms. Her name is Izzy Thomas. She gonna kill me.
Oh yeah. Yes,
But
she do
Izzy-
promote. She do.
Yeah, right. So you look at a manager's role, right? A manager is supposed to take you places, introduce you to
That's true.
people that can move you forward, not
That's right.
follow behind you. They're supposed to
That's
be in
true.
front of you going, "Okay, let's go and talk to Tom because he's doing something and I think you need to be in it," right? So
Yeah.
that is your manager role, not because he
That's
drives a
right.
fancy car, owns a big house, he can pick you up in his Benz and bring you to the studio. That is not a manager, right? To all the artists, to all of the artists, if anyone should approach you to manage you, you do the interviewing.
I
You
know that's
let-
right.
Yep. You ask don't let them question you about what
That's
you
right.
are doing. You ask them, what can you do to help me? That's
That's
it.
right.
Because he's your manager. You go to work, Your manager is there to tell you, you're going to do this project today and guide you through that project. It's the same exact thing. Your
That's
manager
right.
is there to take you and guide you
That's right.
through that entire process. He should understand studio environment. He should be able to sit in on a meeting with an A&R from a record company. He should
That's
be able
right.
to speak. He should be able to speak intelligently
That's
to
right.
the industry. Not you don't know. Yeah, man. Not that. Not that.
Yeah.
That manager must be able to represent you and have your goal in mind.
Yeah.
And do nothing but
You're
guide
right.
you down that lane, keep you in that lane until
That's
you
right.
get to that light. That's what a manager is. Thank you.
Wow. You know what? You had me amped up over here, bro. For real. I'm sitting over here like, that's right. Yeah, that's right. You know, I want to say real quick, adding to what you were saying. You know, I have seen artists that say that they have these managers, and when you talk to the managers, I'm like, am I meeting a manager or am I meeting your bodyguard? You know what I'm saying? Because like you were saying, a manager should be able to take you places, not boss you around and acting like they this big thing over you. And I have seen in the past artists that have been hurt by these different people that they say they managers. And I'll let them know, like, look, you already have a mama and a papa. You know, if you want to get a bodyguard or you need a bodyguard, you can let them know that. But don't let nobody come in and try to control you. You're not to be controlled. Your music is not to be controlled like that. And you made a statement how the artists do the interviewing, not them interviewing you and telling you what to do and bossing you around. That's not managing. It's a manager that will promote you and make sure you get to the next level. And I want to applaud Izzy Thomas because she does that. I be seeing her movement. She be working it for real. I be wondering, do she get sleep? You know, do you get some rest? But she's real good at that. And I applaud her for that. Because, you know, I do a lot of promoting and all of that, but my God, she got me beat. but in saying that is to say this. A manager, to me, she make a perfect one. You know, you make sure that they're well taken care of. If they're in need, you try your best to help them out. Like you said, you take them to the next level. You don't boss them around and dog them out and all this kind of stuff. And you're not concerned just throwing them out there into the wolves and let the wolves eat them. No. So you're right on that. It was a question that Imara had asked me, and then it went off. But I'm seeing something flashing here. Do you share some thoughts with Allan? Oh yeah. So that's what I was just sharing. I agree with Tom. I agree wholeheartedly because there's a lot of people that's saying that they're managers, and I think they need to sit down and really read what a manager is and get a piece of pen and paper and say, am I doing these things? And then you will know if you're really a manager or if you're really trying to be, you know, boss or dog somebody around or be a bully. Let's put it that way. Because you have some people that bully and say they're managers, and that's not what a manager is. So, yeah.
True.
Yeah. And I just, you know, I don't think there's too much more you can really add, you know, exactly what you guys are saying. You know, when you look at it from that way, that I'll just take a slightly different view because I think that if you don't know where you're going, how do you expect to get someone to manage you? If you don't know what your vision is, what your plan is, how can you expect to bring someone into your organization if you don't know where you're supposed to be going yourself, if you don't have a plan? And it's very easy to almost feel that you need to have a manager to almost create this layer of importance. I got to manage. Oh, my manager handles my stuff. When, you know, you ain't got but one song out, you know, you didn't really do too well, but, you know, you got to, speak to my manager. Well, and I'll just say this from my point of view. I get a little bit frustrated sometimes where I have to go through layers of people when I see the artists on Instagram, I see them on Twitter, I play their track, they say they like it, that I'm playing their track. I message them, well done, congratulations. Oh, yeah, let's see. Oh, speak to my manager. You need to speak to my manager because they and it was great if you're flying all around the world. But the interesting thing, and I'm yeah, you're right, but you guys will probably bear witness to this as well. Some of the more successful people that I've had on my platform are people that don't have any layers in between them. It's just them, so yeah, here's my number, WhatsApp me, message me, those extra things are taken away so that you can have almost good communication. But I do understand if you do feel that's what you need to take your gift to the next level. But I think for any artist that's out there, ask yourself first of all, do you really need to spend that expense on a manager, or do you need to spend maybe that expense on maybe developing yourself a little bit more, and then have a real understanding of where you're going? And and if you're out there managing, please don't nobody come and shoot me and say, you know what, that DJ Val said, managers ain't no good, you shouldn't have a manager. I'm not saying that. If you're a manager and you're looking after your people and you're doing a real good job, but we just because, and it's interesting because if you watch something like tennis, right, I find it really that after a while they change their coaches and their managers. Like, even in like football and things like that, they don't stick with the same person. Because that person may be able to get you to one point, and you need someone else that's going to really help you to move on and go to other places as well. So I also think, if you do have like that, that person who is your manager, maybe you need to have a check in with them and say, hey, where we are, and do you think you're the person that's going to take me to the Dove Awards? Are you the guy? Are you going to get me on the stage of Festival of Life? And I'm not saying we're Christians, I know, but is that where your passion really lies? Is that what you're going to do for me? And and I think those are honest conversations that you need to have with anybody that is kind of like in your corner and is whether it be manager. Sometimes you even have confidants that are not like managers. They're not official managers, but they're like managers, they're not managers, but it's my best friend, and I run everything past them, and just have a good sense check the direction that you're going, and if that vision is for you to bring that person on board, bring them on board, and when it's time to part ways, then you need to part ways. But just kind of like know where you're going, and if you don't need it, then don't put it in there to make yourself look big. God is big already. You don't need no manager.
That's right. I know that's right.
Yep. All right, so I think we lost Imara again. So
I'm seeing people saying we need to do a part 2.
Yeah,
because this is good. This is really good.
I'm more than happy to come back, especially now that I worked out that I was the one that messed up the whole thing in the beginning. I've got to come back and redeem myself, right? I had another window going open
again.
This is nice. And this is a blessing.
Yeah, no, I think it is as well. And, okay, Mara's back. Hey, Mara.
Yes.
Mara, can you hear us?
Okay, no, she's gone.
Wow, yeah, it's going right back out.
As soon as she comes on, she kind of like wheels out again. So
yeah.
So yeah, I think
sometimes you'll hear her try to say something and then it goes right back out.
Yeah.
So I think we'll definitely try to do this. We'll definitely do this again.
Yeah.
And I think we'll talk offline about it.
Sorry, my network, thank God for my
You've been coming in and out.
So Imara was saying that we definitely would do this again. And, I'll be more than happy to bring in an artist, who is well established out there. I don't know if you guys are aware of Bridget Blucher. I could bring her in to talk about, the things that she went through coming up in the ranks, so to kind of like guide artists into that, like I said, you want to be a millionaire. Look at what they did and do and follow that process.
Yeah. There's a reason why it worked for them,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So we definitely should do it again. I'm not sure if Imara is hearing us, but
I would love to come back on and have a part 2. Most definitely. I enjoyed you, Tom, and DJ Val. I enjoyed you too. I would love that. We all connect back again.
Amen to that, my sister. Amen
Yes.
to that.
All right. So I don't think Imara is gonna get back in with us. So we'll call it a day and we'll schedule another one. Any final thoughts?
Now is this seen on YouTube? Like, can it be shared? Because I know a lot. The time difference was changed because on the flyer it was saying 3:00 Eastern time, and we really got started at 2. So, like, can I reshare this from the YouTube?
So it is on Facebook. So
yeah, it's on Facebook.
And I saw it was on YouTube, right?
Yeah, but it's on YouTube as well.
Okay, so I can share it. That's what I wanted to ask because the time is different from what it said on the flyer. So
okay. I think maybe they did the daylight saving thing. It must have gone backwards and forwards because I kept getting that wrong. Can be a bit messy.
Because when I saw we were getting started, I'm on the flyer because I've been sharing it saying 3 p.m. Eastern, and then I'm getting a text saying we're going live in 5 minutes, and I'm like, oh my God, like that's 2:00. Let me hurry up, y'all.
So for us guys, we just like but you ladies, you gotta be camera ready,
Well, you know what? I'm glad that I had the phone near me to even catch that because I got so involved into that Lions game to, I didn't know. And when I looked, I'm seeing going live in 5 minutes, and I'm like, oh my God, let me hurry up and get my phone going, and yeah. But I enjoyed myself. This has definitely got to be a part 2.
I completely agree with you on that one as well. Maybe just tell people where people can find you online, like your social media handles and stuff like that, or websites.
All right. So go ahead.
Well, I can be found on Facebook under Tonya Johnson. Also on Instagram, Angel_of_Melody.
Yeah.
So
I am on Facebook, Allan Doyle. My business page is Sansouci Recording Studio. Sansouci, Souci Recording Studio. I believe I'm on Instagram as Sansouci as well. My son, I have no clue how to do this stuff. So I do a Facebook Live 8:00 every night, give or take a few nights out of the week. I am currently working on my own album, which would be released for the holidays, sometime in mid to late December. So look forward to that, and I look forward to part 2 of this get together. Thanks.
Yes, me too.
Amen. And you can find me on Facebook. Business page is Soul Food Gospel. If you want to connect with me personally, Elder Valentine Fadayomi. I think even if you type Elder Valentine, I think it will come up. YouTube, Soul Food Gospel. Instagram is the official DJ Val, and I think on Twitter it's at DJ Val F. So yeah, and we broadcast at Soul Food Gospel Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, a whole range of different shows with different music. So yeah, come over, check us out at soulfoodgospel.com, which is the website as well.
All right.
Yep.
All right, guys. So thanks again. Thanks for joining. It was good chatting with you guys, and I enjoyed it.
Same here. Yeah, same here. Me too.
Yeah, I'm gonna be back.
And thanks to Imara. Thanks to Imara too for even, considering me to be on, and it was an honor to be on with some great men, great brothers.
Amen. Yeah. And we were on with the great sister, man.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Take care, everybody.
All right. Take care.
All right. Okay, take care.
All right. Bye. Signing out, folks.
So God bless you all. Thank you for joining. God bless you. We're so grateful. Thank you, DJ Val. Thank you, Angel of Melody. Thank you, Mr. Allen. I am so grateful for your time. I don't know, I've had network issues. It is well. It will get better. I'm sure it's because of my location. And I'm glad my keypad was very active and they did justice to every question asked. And like we said, they have obliged us by agreeing to come back for part two. Don't miss it. Tell your friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that there'll be a part two of today's conversation, and it will be mind blowing. I tell you, thank you for impacting us tonight. Thank you. Time they say is money, and for me, just give us money today. You never know what you've done because most artists have battled and are still battling. Lots of people have spent money. The money spent is not commensurate with the results people get. And at the end of the day, people get frustrated. At the end of the day, people resort to other means that is against the gospel. And the gospel is good news. Gospel is Christ. People end up resulting to means that are not pleasing to God in search of, is it fame you're talking about, or wanting their songs to get to the nooks and crannies of the earth? You have made us understand what needs to be done and what we should not do. And I know that when we come back for a part two, it will be an in-depth discussion like it was today. So thank you so much for our audience who tuned in. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless you. Have a good evening. I am so grateful. We are so grateful. Thank you. Honestly, my network today kind of misbehaved, but thank God for my keypad. When you see me bending, I've been trying to do stuff with my phone right here, and I'm glad it paid off. Thank you so much. It wasn't boring. The panelists kept the platform active. Thank you very much. If not, it would have been so boring. But I'm so grateful. Thank you. Have a good evening and bye bye.